Well, we're talking pools of blood, and this just might be the movie that defines pools of blood. Yes, plenty of it, just like we like. But let's start off with the IMDb plot before we jump into this Evil Dead craziness. A twisted tale of two estranged sisters whose reunion is cut short by the rise of flesh possessing demons, thrusting them into a primal battle for survival as they face the most nightmarish version of the family imaginable. Yes, this family is going to get torn apart. Literally, yes. Crazy stuff here. So everybody's excited for this movie, and of course I am too. But uh, before I kind of dive into it, I'll kind of make a confession here. Um, I know The Evil Dead is a big franchise in the hearts of many, many horror fans. Um, but to me, The Evil Dead came probably a little bit later. I don't know. It kind of escaped me over the years. And obviously, I was very young when the original came out. And didn't really see the original too much later. So because of that, I don't really have the same fandom for it that per se a lot of other people have. Not that I don't like it or I hate it or anything like that. I will just say that my fandom for it is just not at the level of many others. But I certainly liked the original and enjoyed it. And also the sequel. Army of Darkness is a little weird, a little strange. But yeah, all three of them are good and fun movies, and also have plenty of good horror in it as well. So, you can see why everybody likes it. Then there's the remake, which is probably one of the better remakes, one that I enjoyed, and of course, very easily because there's pools of blood, and guys know that I like pools of blood, so why not? And there was the TV show, and sadly, because I forgot what network was on, I didn't have that, so I didn't really get to see it. I did see part of season one, but I wanted to see more, but then when they canceled it, I just was like, okay, I'm just not going to. So can't say much on the show. But all of that leaves us here to Evil Dead Rise, which you guys want to hear about and what I'm here to review. As you can tell, and as you can guess, if you've already seen the movie, you know that I'm going to like it just for the pools of blood. I mean, hell. This is probably one of the more bloodier movies I've seen since the last Evil Dead movie, and we need to have more movie with more blood like this. I'd like a chance to go and see how many pools of blood were used in the remake and how many were used this time. It would be a good comparison. I don't know if that stat is out there or known, but it would be interesting to know. Anyway, let's get into this movie. I will try to be as spoiler free as possible since obviously it's new, and I wish I would have seen it in theaters, but I'm still not doing that yet. So anyway, here we go. What I like here right off the bat is they kind of make you think we're going again to the cabin in the woods. Always cabin in the woods is a bad thing. Just don't do it, especially if you're going to go with your couple of buddies. And they make you seem like we're going down that road again at the beginning, but then after a hair-splitting scene, we kind of flip around 2 hours earlier. Now, sometimes I don't like that, but the story really doesn't continue much after that. They show you at the end of the movie, why or why that opening scene is that opening scene, but the majority of the movie is nothing really to do with that. It is we're going hours earlier, maybe even I think a day earlier, 12 hours, whatever it is, and you're getting a family reunion. And I like the kind of change of also scenery here, because again, we had the cabin and we've done the cabin before, and this time now we're having an apartment, so opens the door for more people. Although I would say could have been a lot more people, I guess, but I don't remember the what was going on exactly in this apartment. It didn't seem like there was as many people going on in there as there could have been. Or it was maybe just on that floor and everybody else was spared. I don't know. But there were a few other people that did get sucked into the craziness and shared their blood with us, which was great. But yeah, so the change of scenery is a good thing to start. And get introduced to his family, a couple of kids. You kind of see them kind of playing around at the beginning to kind of give you an introduction to them and their mother, and kind of her reign on them. And you get a little bit of what's going on here in the family. Then the mother's sister shows up amongst all the craziness, and apparently they haven't seen each other in a while, and there's still a little bit of awkwardness but happiness, and kind of everybody kind of getting reunited. And then unfortunately an earthquake appears or happens, or a tremor, or whatever you want to call it, and that kind of unleashes the evil here, and leave it to one of the kids to bring that evil home. Yes, just like in the other movies, the evil gets messed with, played with, and is unleashed on them. So we get to jump right into the fun. Mom is possessed, and Mama is going to take it out on sister and family, kids. And then it's just all the evil deadness, I guess you would expect. Crazy lines, just the possession is nuts, just wants to do bad things. What I also like is the possession doesn't only have to be in the mom, it will spread to others. It kind of goes around, it's not just her. So, the fun is shared, and that just means, more blood. I think it's kind of fun also when you think maybe someone should be dead, maybe they're not, maybe because they're possessed, maybe they're not. Like I said, I might not be the biggest fan of this franchise. Obviously, there are many that are out there, maybe some of you that are watching me right now. And, I would think that if you liked the previous Evil Dead movies, and including the remake, I just don't see why you wouldn't like this movie. Saw tons of great reviews on Twitter, and everybody was talking about it, so I was like, oh, okay. Maybe they're just hyped for another Evil Dead, and, just like a lot of people are just hyped for the new, when the first Halloween movie of this latest trilogy came out, everybody was hyped for it. And, that ended up probably being the best of the three movies. But, I think, everybody kind of said the same. Everybody was really excited, really liked the movie. And, then it kind of crashed and burned. I think that this gives you everything that you want as an Evil Dead fan. Reintroduces the book, the demons. Kind of goes through that kind of cycle again of explanation of bringing it to you in the book and so forth. And then... just gives you demon craziness, demon all over the place, body parts getting cut, stabbings, and just blood everywhere. If you think about it from a family aspect, it's actually kind of sad what happens to them, but it does. And that's what happens when you start playing with things you shouldn't. Fall to one of the kids. I'm not going to give way too much information here, but they mess with the book, and one of them tells the other, you shouldn't have done that, and yeah, you shouldn't have. And it's just all the Evil Dead craziness you want after that. I want to say more, but there's just really not much to say. They stick to a formula that works here, and it works. Being brutal. Some of the kills here, or maybe not even the kills, just the attempted kills, it almost seems like, there are not too many people that are just flatly killed. They're, stabbed, cut, All kinds of stuff almost to torture them before they actually die, if they die or not. Um, just because people are dead doesn't mean that they can't come back to life or get possessed even if they're dead. So it's all a fun time, and you'll see who's fighting back, and the constant that they need front that they need to put up to survive and to keep coming at this demon that continues to come at them. A little predictable in who's trying to survive and who's trying to be saved, and the ultimate end of it all. But whatever. That's not a huge deal, not a deal breaker. But it's just wild and craziness all around this apartment, in the halls, and then a fabulous ending scene here in the garage of this building, of this apartment building. Again, the only odd thing is, where are all the other people? I don't know if there was a mention of where the hell all the other people are in this building. I believe, the lights do go out when the earthquake happens. So I don't know if they're just kind of saying, well, people got locked out or locked in or whatever, or just disappeared, oblivious to the evil that is happening here. But whatever, small, details there, I don't know. Again, maybe I missed an explanation there. Hell, who cares? My only disappointment is more people were not home to be part of the bloodshed here. That's really the only disappointment there. There are a couple, like I said, of other people that get thrown in the mix. Just pretty much body count and blood count and all that funness. But yeah, it is a really good final scene, final moments. Trying to defeat the demon, good stuff there. And then they'll kind of wrap it up and, like I said, give you kind of that little explanation to why we had that beginning part, which is not really a big deal. I don't know what the plans are. I've heard that, and I'm sure this movie's made plenty of money, just like Scream and Halloween. So I'm sure there are plans to do more. Maybe a part 2 picks up there where they began this one. Maybe they have it in plans and works. I would be fine if it didn't. Like I said, that might open the door to going back to the cabin, and that's not good and fun. But we've done Cabin before. Evil Dead done Cabin. So many other people have done Cabin in the woods. Jason's always in the woods and the campground. They're in cabins. I liked the apartment. Not that we've never seen apartment horror before, but as far as the Evil Dead, it's nice to have a different location. And if they did do another one, it would be nice to see maybe even another different location or another apartment building. This time with everybody home and everybody ending in a pool of blood. I mean, why not? So yeah, as far as the acting, everything is fine. The kids. I mean, none of them blew me away, but it was fine. I mean, they're there to do their thing and then be part of the violent fun. But yeah, a lot of people wanted to see Bruce kind of involved in it. I mean, they were behind the scenes, but the remake didn't have him there, so this one doesn't have him there. So I mean, it's fine. I guess. This is one of those rare exceptions when I guess we can kind of break away from the main star and it's been kind of okay and it's kind of worked. Nightmare on Elm Street didn't work, and Jason really didn't work, but they've done multiple people being Jason. But the remake, we just had one remake, and that's a legal battle and all that nonsense. But to partake the Hellraiser, I mean, some people liked the new one and the change, and to me, it's just not the same without Doug. Not to say anything slighting the woman, I don't remember her name off the top of my head, who did it. Not to slight her, she did the best of the last couple of people that tried to do Pinhead. But it just, to me, it just doesn't feel the same. Just like a Nightmare on Elm Street was a nightmare without Robert. It seems like this is okay. It is managed to kind of move on without Ash there. Even though, like I said, there's a fandom to this, and everybody would love Bruce to be there. But it's managed to work its way through a remake, and now this, whatever, I don't know if this is supposed to be a second remake, is sort of a sequel. I don't know. I heard different things. I don't know what the final, call for this one is, the final verdict on what this is compared to the remake and the original, but it is what it is. I don't know. I don't have a lot more to say, but it was just a bloody good time. I know gore and blood is not for everybody. So if you saw the remake and that was too much blood and gore for you, then this one might not be for you either. But if you are into blood and gore and that kind of thing, this is for you. I know some people then want to complain, call it torture, porn, or whatever, blah blah. Then that kind of stuff is just not for you. But some horror fans like it, and I happen to be one of those. Hence the pool of blood rating I give at the end of all my reviews. I enjoy it. So therefore, I enjoyed this. I don't think, at the end of the day, this is the most amazing movie, and not to take anything away from the movie. But it was, had a lot of good stuff, a lot of good blood and whatever. Probably the best movie I've seen this year so far, probably. And a lot of that has to do because of all the pools of blood. But just as a movie, comparing it to other movies and they're good movies, or just I don't know. I know what I'm thinking in my head, but I don't know. I'm probably not coming across. I guess it just didn't blow me away in the same way that some of the other movies did. But it was just very enjoyable and a very good movie for what it was. So with that, I think I'm going to give it 4 pools of blood. I'm pretty sure I did a review of the remake, but I have no idea off the top of my head what I gave it. But and I'm not gonna really say right now which one I enjoy more. I'd have to think about that. That would be a good question to think about. But I'm gonna give this one 4 pools of blood, and that is out of 5. But there is tons of pools of blood in this movie. Tons of blood everywhere. Just a lot of painful scenes for some people. Getting injured, hurt, stabbed, and all this stuff. So if you're, like I said it several times, if you're into that, you'll enjoy it. If blood and guts isn't your thing, this probably movie you're gonna want to stay away from. But I think Evil Dead fans have enjoyed it. That's what it seems like from what I've seen. So I think maybe you guys will as well. Just taking a quick look here at IMDb, 6.8 out of 10, and that's a ton of reviews, 57,000. So yeah, to get a 6.8, comparing it to what a lot of the horror movies got last year, I know there'll probably be a lot more ratings on this coming. That's pretty high for horror here. So good for it, and if they're going to give us blood showering pools of blood like this again, I'm all down for it. I know sometimes I complain about sequels, remakes, and all that, but if they're showering the blood with us, I'm down with it. Bring it on. Call it Evil Dead, call it whatever you want, just bring it on. So yeah, horrorreviews.blogspot.com, where you can find more of my reviews, written and video. Of course, if you're just interested in the video reviews, subscribe here, like, notifications, all that stuff that everybody wants you to do. If not, no problem. Also throwing a lot of fun stuff out there in the shorts, trying to keep you guys entertained, informed, a little bit of both. Kind of an extension of PromoteHorror.com, getting some stuff from there just to share. So just having fun on YouTube now. Twitter, Facebook information down below as well. If you want to reach out, follow, like there as well. If not, no problem. All the pressure to do all these things, but whatever you guys do, you guys do. And in the comments section, if you saw the movie, what did you like? What did you dislike? Have you always been an Evil Dead fan? Unfortunately, I wish I would have been able to pick it up at the same time as many others, but I have not. But I still enjoy it, and still had a good time, and really no major complaints about anything Evil Dead. So you can throw that into the comment section or anything else if you want to reach out. So with that, I guess I will leave you to the next review, horror fans.